Recent polls show that healthcare and the economy were most important to voters this year as they headed to the polls. I recently talked to some registered voters, and here's what they had to say. The latest Gallup poll showed 10% national unemployment rate. How has it affected you personally, if at all?
I was actually unemployed for quite a long time. I tried finding work in various fields unsuccessfully. The best I did was able to find part-time work, and it prompted me to seriously consider going back to school, which I plan on doing.
Well, my daughter just graduated from Rutgers about a year ago, and she, like most of her friends, she was able to find a job, but it's part-time, and it's at basically minimum wage. So, and that's what a lot of her friends are facing. And for my own, in my own job, I'm a proofreader, and a lot of people that I work with, they used to work at IBM or Merrill Lynch, and they were laid off after 15, 20 years. And so it's a very frightening time.
Go ahead. I have 4 children, and they're all married, and some of the 8 of them have had unemployment. Fortunately, it's worked out very well for everybody, but there have been periods.
In my field, medicine, and the fact that I own my own practice, I've noticed that because of the unemployment and people losing their jobs, when they lose their jobs, they also lose their health coverage. And so many of the families that had commercial health coverage now are on the government health panel, which means somewhat diminished revenues for my small business. And thanks to the new healthcare law that's in place now, it's going to happen that when people lose their jobs, they can continue to have health coverage.
As a student graduating in May, I'm terrified because I know my options are limited, but I am happy that there is coverage now, health care.
Record number of people came out in 2008 for the presidential election. Obviously, we're in a midterm election cycle, but still political experts say voter turnout is expected to be lower than usual. Why do you think that is?
I can speak for students. You know, students did show up, and young people did show up in record numbers in 2008, and we want to keep that momentum going. We want the people in power to listen to us and our needs. I think young people don't feel empowered right now, and they don't feel like they have a voice, but that's why we need to go out and vote. So we do show that we matter, and we do have that voice.
My demographic is, of course, the exception. The seniors always vote. 80% of the seniors are expected to vote this year. We're always there, so it's not a problem for us.
I think sometimes some people may think that not enough has changed in 2 years. They forget that a new administration can't come in and fix everything in a short amount of time. So maybe there's some frustration, some misunderstanding of how things work. But I think it's very important. Everybody's been mentioning the health care bill, and I think it's very important that we vote for those people who voted for the health care bill, because it's been a real lifesaver, or it will be a real lifesaver for a lot of people.
Yes, and people are a little bit discouraged that the change hasn't been as great as we anticipated, but remember, we're coming from a way, way back. We're coming from deep in a hole, and it takes time to get us out of the hole. One of the things that we have to keep in mind is that if we do not go out and vote, we're going to lose things. Small businesses will lose the tax credits that now the healthcare law affords for small business. We're going to lose the insurance exchanges that come along with the healthcare law that's now in place.
Do you think that the situation in Afghanistan will weigh heavily on this?
I am humbled by the honor bestowed upon me by the voters of Kentucky. I will do everything within my power to live up to that trust. America's best days lie ahead of her. If we can once again unleash the creative genius, the entrepreneurial spirit, the faith in ourselves that is the American dream. Thank you, and God bless America.